What is going on, guys? Welcome to the tutorial of Need You Now. Need You Now with Keeks. This song was written up in Sydney. It was written by my good friends Angus Legg and Jeremy Drakeford, and of course Keeks. And I love this song as soon as we wrote it. It was the melody. I fell in love with the melody, and we'll run you through some insight into a bit about how he wrote the song and the production. So, hope you guys enjoy it. I guess firstly to start off, like the whole song stemmed around these guitars, these acoustic guitars. So I got sent these guitars from Jeremy, and it was from there where the whole song kind of started, and I built the pads and chords around that. So I ended up writing chords to those guitar strums. And I'll dive into all these different layers the more we get into it. So the song started with those strums into these chords, and then I built the whole song kind of around that, and we wrote the vocal to that, and that was kind of the track. So I guess I'll just play like the song, and then I'll play a bit of it and we'll jump into it.
I don't need perfect, oh, but I'm sick of guessing all the time, struggling to reach your mind, head still in circles. Oh, got me working overtime, trying to find the reasons why. Lately I ain't over us, but I feel like I'm losing touch as I dive in deeper. Do you notice? Maybe I'll just overthink, but I don't want this over quick. If I started sinking, would you leave the light on so I can come home? 'Cause I'm getting scared in the dark on my own. If you opened your eyes, then you'd already know. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. I need you now. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. I'm feeling alone and I need you now.
Yeah, so that is the track. It's out everywhere now. You can check it out on all the streaming platforms. Let's just dive straight into it. So the intro starts pretty simple. Like, I've just got this vocal cut here, which I actually make my vocal cuts in FL Studio, and I tend to bounce them back in to Ableton. So this vocal cut was something that I made in FL, and I just bounced it in, and then I just put all these effects on it. So a lot of EQ, there's probably a lot of like frequencies in which I did not like, so I took them out. Valhalla reverb, CLA guitar, a little altar boy, just slightly fomented. One knob filtering, and then I think that one knob's just slightly going up, and okay. And my mum's saying okay, which is cool. Marker's red. And H delay, which which is actually, sorry, my mum's okay message has put me off. The delay is actually going up, the wetness, just to like kind of get the tail end of that out, and it transitions nicely. A bit of S1 imager, just to make it a little bit wider, and then some kickstart, just for that good old side chaining. So it starts with that, and then we've got these filtered guitars. And they're just filtering up as we get into that verse. And then I've got just a shaker. I think the drums is... Oh, I've got a shaker. This percussion loop thing, which I tend to do in a lot of tracks. I just low and high pass it, and I just like the filtering, the filtered feel it gives. So that's all that is. And then that's all for the drums and the pads. We have, is this Omnisphere? Yeah, this is Omnisphere here. What patch is it? See how long this takes to load up. Omnisphere is always fun to open up. Winter Pluck. So using that, I've got the cutoff again pretty low because I want it all kind of filtered for the intro. Pads here, got silence. So that's just a preset. I haven't done much to that. And then I've got silent again, and this one's actually panned a bit more to the right. Just a nice Rhodes electric piano kind of vibe. And then we move into the verse.
I don't need perfect, oh, but I'm sick of guessing all the time.
I might just switch off the vocals for now. So the verse doesn't do much more. Just a few little extra things. So there's little bit of this atmosphere guitar that just gives it a little bit more interest. The thing is, you want to kind of like build the interest as the song goes. So it's kind of like give the listener kind of layers. So you start off pretty small, and then you add more and more. Like here now, a fair bit comes in. The guitar strums are coming in, and they're filtered. With these strummed guitars, I'm not doing much, just cutting out the lows, CLA, filtered, Greg Wells, mix-centric. It's a cool, he's got a cool waves bundle, which I got. Looks like it's doing not much, but I don't know. Obviously thoughts sound good. So there's guitars. A little bit more rhythm in this guitar. Another little guitar strummy acoustic thing. Some high atmosphere, which I'm pretty sure is another guitar stem which Jeremy did. And then there's these added extra, they're kind of like fillers, and they're all from Arcade. So there's this like banjo riff, which I loved, from the Nashville pack. There's all these different lines, and well, clearly my computer doesn't want to load, but yeah, there's all these different kits and you can use, and I found a few that I really liked. So they just help fill out the sound. Drums, what else is happening here? Okay, so there's a little bit more percussion. So there's a little bit more percussion, and then in the second half of this, actually add like another little hat shaker thing. But in terms of all these, So there's a few loops. And I don't think I've got much. Yeah, okay, so I've filtered. So I like to get my drums, and I will affect every single hit and do it how I would like it so it fits in the mix. So this one, it's obviously like filtered in a way where it's low and high passed. I've got a little altar boy on it. And then this one is literally just a hit. And then I've got this little loop. And I'm EQing all these differently to how I want them to kind of sit. So here for this loop here, I'm taking out a lot of the lows, but for this one, I'm kind of allowing the lows to hang in there. Taking out a lot of the highs though, because I like it for it to build in the chorus and have that higher frequency shine there. The bass comes in, and the bass is sub bass from Serum. We've got just a classic sub. Okay, it's just a patch, just a preset which I found, and it's layered with sub bass 2, which is Omnisphere, and this preset is Big Fatty, and these will both be EQ'd how I want them. So this sub, yeah, taking out a lot of the highs, even taking out like below kind of like 40, 50 hertz, because we don't want any of that in there. Added some max bass from Waves. It kind of just beefens it up, and does add some nice harmonics to the bass sound. I've got kickstart here. That'll be when the drop hits, and then sub bass 2. I have left that one pretty open. I've taken off the lows. Haven't really done much. Just some top end. Really, I could have done that, but whatever. There's nothing really happening in the top end anyway. Max bass again. Decapitator. I just thought it added some nice crunch. Might be hard to hear through here, but like it just adds a nice kind of graininess, and then Devil Lock as well. Just adds a nice distortion, and yeah, just playing around with effects is always fun, just to try different things, and if it works and it fits, then leave it on. Who cares? There's no rules. Pads, we've got Omnisphere again. And this pad is Warm Thoughts. So obviously with Omnisphere, there's so many presets. Omnisphere is a sick plug. I use it on a lot of my stuff, a lot of ambience stuff and sounds. Strings. This is Omnisphere. Again, this one is... Oh, it's not coming up. That's... Oh, Nice Strings here. Oh, it's because I've saved this patch, so I'm not sure what the actual patch is, but it's definitely in Omnisphere. But I've saved that preset because I really liked it. Omnisphere again, Winter Pluck, that one's called. And then all these Silent, which we ran through before, I'm just continuing these. For my keys, I use Contact, Alicia Keys, Contact, and that's all the pre-chorus. I like to add little vocal effects as well. So if we add the vocals back in,
We are just overthink, but I diving deeper. Do you notice?
so just add like a nice little vocal kind of effect thing. And
Notice? Maybe I just overthink, but I don't want this over quick. If I started sinking,
like just that little like,
would you?
I think I actually reversed that and then pitched it up. So just little like vocal tricks and tips and stuff. And this has got so many plugins. I'm not going to unfreeze this because I feel like my computer will absolutely cook. But yeah, this has just got, it's got auto tune, SSL, CLA, compressor. This is basically my vocal chain, and I've just left it on these high pitched things.
Will you leave the light on so I can come home? 'Cause I'm getting scared in the dark on my own. If you opened your eyes, then you'd already know, already know. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. I need you, I need you. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. I need you, I need you. I'm feeling alone and I need you now.
That is, so the build, I've just got the vocal cuts filtering in. And I've again delayed it so the tail of that vocal cut will kind of carry through into the next one. What else have we done here? So that all the guitars go from filtered coming up, so they all and there's a few guitar plugs here. There's a nice pluck in there as well. The verse guitars are in there as well. And then all these extra things from Arcade. And the drums. Drums, there's this is a groove that I made. I think this is a groove that I made for a Little, one of my previous tracks, and I've just brought in that stem and put it into this track because I actually like the groove, and the groove worked exactly the same how I wanted it. The build up is also something that I've taken from For a Little, and I've added some more shakers, and there's a shaker, there's a click happening. And then there's some effects happening. There's nothing on these effects. Oh, there's some... Okay, so there's some verb on that effect just to give it a bit more carry throughout into the drop. And then we've got the bass for the drop. So we've got Serum, just the classic bass sub patch, and then we've got Omnisphere again, which is Big Fatty. And then for the drop, we've also added these two rhythm layers. So I've added this like top end bass to just give it more rhythm and give it a bit more, because I just felt when it was flat, like held notes, it was a bit boring. So having that rhythm bass throughout made it made it a bit more interesting. And then there's this like bass slapper, which kind of gives like a real bass sound. I would probably recommend Trillion as well. I don't have Trillion, but I've heard amazing things from it, and it's probably on my next thing to buy. But Bass Slapper was my closest plug that I had to it, so I used that, and you know what? It did the trick. It was actually quite good. The pads, there's not heaps going on pads, just the that Omnisphere pad throughout the whole drop, and effects. So I've got white noise throughout the whole thing, just to like give it that top end, taking out all the lows from it, sidechained it really hard, and also giving it a lot of width. And then I've got all these kind of vocal effects and, you know, like, whoop, all these, yeah, all these vocal effects happening. Just little effects that like just add more interest and, yeah, it just keeps it interesting going from each section. So that's a drop.
You make me nervous. Oh, now I'm losing sleep at night. You never used to make me cry, but you don't deserve this. Oh, I know it's not your fault that I question all your reasons why. These words get stuck in my mouth, but I feel like I'm dragging you.
So second verse is pretty like similar. It's just that everything is now kind of filtered, and I've taken out a few elements that weren't in the drop, so a few guitars, and I've also in the second half of the verse, actually the first half of the second verse, I've added this, and the second half I've also added these extra layers because it just makes it more interesting.
Notice, maybe I just over.
You can't really hear them, but they just add another layer of interest.
Maybe I just overthink, but I don't want this over quick. If I start to sink it.
A few drums, like shakers. Basically, a lot carries on that was in the drop drums. The drop drums, just that I've taken out some, like I'm not going as heavy on this loop. Like that dies down back to the filter loop, and then, you know, you got a kick to kind of carry it, and just a hat with some shakers. Just a few more loops, just a few extra elements just to keep it interesting. But just to get the rhythm, just to, you know, change up the rhythm, just make it interesting.
Would you leave the light on so I can come home? 'Cause I'm getting scared in the dark on my own. If you opened your eyes, then you'd already know. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. I'm feeling alone and I need you now. 'Cause I need you now.
something with the vocals that is cool is there's actually a lot more layers to the vocals than people think.
Light on so I can come home, 'cause I'm getting
Scared in the dark on my own.
So there's actually some lower harmonies there, some lower male harmonies. That's actually from my manager Dylan. He's just singing some lower harmonies, just to like thicken up the vocal and make it, just make it as big as we can for that last drop. Sometimes I will sing it, but his voice just worked way better for this track. That's Keeks. That's Keeks doing a higher harm.
I'm feeling alone. If you opened your eyes, then you'd already know.
already know. Oh, I'm feeling alone and I need you now.
So like all those elements build up and stack the vocals. So that is a big one.
I need you now. If you leave the light on so I can come home.
In terms of, sorry, just to jump back, in terms of like processing these vocals, if I go to the lead is SSL. I've cut off some of the lows from like 100 hertz down. CLA 2A from waves.
Light on so I can come home.
What's that? Taking off like, around 5 dB.
Light on so I can come home.
Deessa,
'Cause I'm getting scared in the dark
which
on my own.
doesn't even seem to be attenuating anything, so that's sick.
Light on so I can come home.
The R
'Cause
compressor,
I'm getting
mainly just I've just boosted that gain for gain.
light on so I can come home. 'Cause I'm
Voice-centric.
getting scared.
This is the Greg Wells plug again. Voice centric, reverb,
Light on so I can come home.
CLA guitars,
Light on so I can come home.
CLA
Light on
vocals,
so I can come home. Light on
Soothe. So there's this awesome plugin, Soothe, which actually is kind of like a dynamic EQ. It like takes out all harsh
Light on
frequencies that you don't need. So if I go Delta,
Light on so I can come home. 'Cause I'm getting scared in the dark
you can
on
hear
my own.
everything it's taking out, like all the harsh frequencies,
Light on so I can
and really smooths that thing out. H delay,
light on so I can come home.
and yeah, that's my vocal chain. And I added, I don't know if I've added Kickstart. No, I haven't. I must have thought to sidechain them. Sometimes I would sidechain the vocal in the last drop a little bit,
Light on so I can come home.
just to like,
'Cause I'm getting
just to let it sit nicer in the mix. But I think for this one, I didn't bother for that.
light on so I can come home. 'Cause I'm getting scared in the dark on my own. If you opened your eyes, then you'd already know. I'm feeling alone and I need you now.
And yeah, that's the end of the track. That's just the vocal cut ending there. I will say for the drop, all the pads are sidechained. There is this like little rhythm pluck. And again, like I'm not doing much on all my VSTs. Like I just kind of EQ, kickstart, and a little bit of verb, a bit more verb. So, yeah. And then like effects, can solo all the effects so you can hear how they would be. And that's it. That's kind of the whole track. So yeah, that's the tutorial for Niji now. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and yeah, I really want to do more of these. So let me know in the comments what you guys liked, what you didn't like, and yeah, I'll catch you soon. Catch ya.